I covered the entire $17,500 tab for everyone's trip to Italy. 10 people, 1 villa. But when we got there, my name wasn't even on the reservation. They put me in one of the storage rooms. Whatever. Apparently, I was too young for luxury, at least, that's what my mom said with a smug little smirk. I just looked at her and said, of course. Then I quietly canceled the villa booking, froze every group card tied to me, and pulled myself out of the trip's group chat. By 1 a.m., they were being ushered out in nothing but flip-flops, standing in the driveway while their luggage sat in the pouring rain. I watched it all unfold from the balcony of my new place across the street. Someone sent a voice note saying, please fix this. I replied with a screenshot of our account balances at the time I originally paid. Mom, not even glancing up from her phone, said, it's just a storage room. You're young. You don't need fancy stuff. Thing is, 10 seconds earlier, I'd asked the concierge why my name wasn't listed on the reservation. 10 seconds after that, I was still standing there, with 10 people, my own family, staring at me, along with a few tag-along boyfriends, girlfriends, and freeloaders. Before continuing the story, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss new and interesting stories, and to like and share this video with your friends. I footed the bill for every single one of them. 17.5 grand. 1 villa, 10 days in Italy, 10 guests, apparently excluding me. My sister laughed as she tossed her suitcase to a staff member. Oh, come on. He doesn't care. He always acts like a martyr. Let him take the utility closet. I didn't respond. Just gave a quiet nod. Of course, I said, calmly. They honestly thought I was kidding. None of them noticed when I opened my banking app under the counter and started freezing every group card. They didn't feel their phones buzz when I left the group chat, the one I created to plan this whole trip. The same chat that my cousin Tyler renamed Family Villa Vibes, even though his only contribution was a janky playlist of pirated songs. You all right? The concierge asked, eyeing me and then glancing at the group behind me. Completely, I said. Just one quick change to the booking. Cancel it. The silence hit in 2 waves. First from the concierge, who blinked like he didn't hear me right, then whispered, all of it. Then from behind me, where my dad's laugh froze in his throat and my mom's smirk twisted into total confusion. What do you mean, cancel? She stepped forward like I owed her an explanation. I said slowly, turning to face them, there is no villa, no reservation, no cards left to swipe. That was 8:42 p.m. By 1:03 a.m., they were locked outside the gates, barefoot in flip-flops and silk pajamas, their bags dumped by the driveway, getting drenched in a sudden Roman downpour. I watched them from my new balcony across the street. The villa? It was never theirs. It was mine. At 1:17 a.m., I got a voice note from Mom. She was trying not to cry. Please fix this. I sent her a screenshot of the same account balance I'd shown before, when everything was still intact. But honestly, it didn't start in Italy. It technically began years ago, when I first started helping my family with little things. A plane ticket here. A rent top-up there. A birthday gift when Mom forgot to buy one for Dad. I always told myself it was temporary, that they'd eventually get on their feet. But they never did. By the time this trip rolled around, I was managing 3 separate family cards, all under my name. They said it made sense. Said I was the organized one. Said I could keep track of things better. But the truth? I was just the one with decent credit. When I sent the booking confirmation for the villa to the group chat, not one of them said thank you. Not even once. My sister just tapped a heart on the message and wrote, finally, something classy. Mom replied, looks good. Hope there's Wi-Fi. My dad dropped a thumbs up and a meme that read, Italy? More like, I'll be me drunk. No one even brought up the idea of reimbursing me. The plan was always, I pay now, they pay me back later. But later kept turning into, after the trip, then, after bonuses, and eventually into, we thought it was your gift to the family. The entitlement didn't explode, it crept in quietly. Like when Mom emailed the airline asking to upgrade her seat using my miles. Or when my cousin Jake asked if his girlfriend could tag along last minute so she wouldn't be bored at home. He said he'd Venmo me. Still waiting. Even the day before the flight, I had to call the airline to fix a mistake Brooke made with her passport info. When I asked her to double-check it earlier, she called me dramatic. I didn't say a word. I just fixed it. Like always. The final straw came on day 2 of the trip. We were all supposed to go on a guided tour of Florence. The van was scheduled for 9 a.m. sharp. I stepped out of my room at 8:52, and the driveway was already empty. They'd left without me. I tried calling Mason. No answer. Texted Mom. Her reply? But you said you needed sleep. We didn't want to bother you, they said. A minute later, Dad sent a photo from the van. Everyone smiling, holding gelato like it was some kind of postcard. The caption read, work hard, nap harder. I stood alone at the gate of the villa, sun already beating down on me, burning its way into my throat. I never said I needed sleep. They just left me behind. In Italy, on a tour I had planned and paid for. But the real breaking point came on day 4. That morning, I checked the balances on the group cards. 2 of them were drained. I had loaded those with enough to cover meals, activities, Ubers, everything. I'd even put together a whole spreadsheet to track it all. Nearly $5,000, gone in just 4 days. At first, I thought maybe it was a glitch. But then I opened the app and saw the actual charges. A designer boutique in Florence. Rooftop cocktails in Rome. Something called La Luz Oro, a high-end jewelry store. Oh, and a $1,200 spa package, booked under someone else's name. Definitely not mine. I brought it up that night over dinner. We were sitting under the pergola, those string lights glowing like a Pinterest board, and everyone a little drunk on Chianti. Hey, I said calmly, I noticed some odd charges. Anyone know who made a purchase at La Lazaro? Silence. Then my mom shrugged and said, that was probably me. I needed to grab a few gifts. You said the card was for the group, right? I nodded. Right. It's just, I didn't approve a $1,200 spa day. We snorted into her wine. What? I asked. She laughed, then said, maybe don't offer to cover everything if you're going to get all stingy about it later. I just stared at her. You used the card, I said slowly. She forgot hers. Mom jumped in. So I let her use yours. It's all the same anyway, isn't it? Dad raised his glass and smirked. Isn't this what rich kids do? By family loyalty? You're young. You'll bounce back. I didn't say a word. Later that night, I was scrolling through the group chat when I saw something I wasn't supposed to. Jake meant to send it privately to Emma, but he must have tapped the wrong thread. It was a screenshot of my Facebook profile, a photo of me on the balcony, laptop in front of me. The caption, look at him. Even on vacation, he's still thinking about spreadsheets. Underneath, Emma had replied, let him. Makes him feel important. Guilt money always comes with strings. Let him carry that weight. I don't even remember blinking. But I do remember the way the summer air suddenly felt cold, like I'd been buried alive in the middle of Italy. Stars above, laughter below. And I was just stuck in between. The next morning, I logged into the villa's security app. Since I was the one who made the booking, I had full admin access to all the cameras. I wasn't checking out of paranoia, just curiosity. I wanted to see what happened the morning they left me for the Florence tour. At 8:46 a.m., there they were. Outside, casually posing for group photos. No one seemed rushed. I watched my mom laugh with Emma and Jake, all of them holding cappuccinos like it was a lifestyle shoot. My dad was filming. Someone had even brought out a cake, a small one with lit candles. They were singing happy birthday to Jake. Not one of them had mentioned it to me. Not once. While I sat inside, wondering if I'd overslept, they were outside celebrating, smiling, toasting, slicing cake, and cutting me out of the moment like a bad edit. Later that day, I found something else buried in the shared cloud folder we used to store trip photos. I had set that up too. Someone had accidentally uploaded a high-resolution selfie from inside the spa. The file was named goldroom_luxury_thermal. In the mirror behind them, I could clearly see the receipt, $4.80. Brooke's name printed in bold at the top. She was at the spa while I was back at the villa cleaning the kitchen, scrubbing out the mess they left behind after a family night. That evening, Jake sent a group photo taken on the villa's balcony. My chair was empty. The caption said, real family, real memories. No tag, no mention of me, no shame. They weren't just taking advantage of me. They were erasing me. And they thought I'd just sit there and let it happen. The storage room where I slept reeked of detergent and old sneakers. There was a folding cot crammed beside a plastic shelving unit stocked with toilet paper, mops, and a rusted iron. I slept next to a leaky pipe. The floor tiles would sweat at night, and every time someone flushed a toilet upstairs, it sounded like thunder crashing above my head. I spent 3 nights in that room. Not because I accepted it, but because I needed to. Because night 3 was her birthday. And that's when it had to happen. They thought I was silent because I was ashamed. They thought they'd broken me. What they didn't realize was I was waiting. Happy birthday, Brooke. The villa was exploding with balloons and champagne flutes. Someone had hung gold foil letters across the balcony, 25 and fabulous. The playlist was pumping Dua Lipa echoing off the stone walls. There was a hired bartender, a 3-tier cake topped with gold leaf roses, and Brooke's boyfriend in a white blazer with no shirt like he was auditioning for Love Island, Italy. I had paid for all of it. Brooke squealed when she saw the gift table. Oh my God, is that a Cartier box? She gasped, tearing it open like a child at Christmas. Inside, the bracelet. $540. She blinked. Well, okay. This is real. Who's this from? She flipped the tag. No name. She didn't even glance in my direction. No one did. I was handing out champagne flutes, helping the staff stack ice buckets, uncorking bottles of wine for people who acted like I didn't exist, until Dad raised his glass. To Brooke, he shouted. Our baby girl. Smart. Stunning. And let's be honest, way too good for the rest of us. He pointed his glass at me. Especially him. The crowd burst out laughing. I mean, come on, he added. 3 nights in a broom closet, and not a single complaint. That's commitment. Someone give this man a mop and a medal. More laughter. Someone clapped. A few guests looked uncomfortable, but most were too drunk to care. Loud. Cruel. The way people get when they're sure you'll never bite back. I took 1 step forward and waited for the noise to fade. Then I tapped my glass. Can I say something? A few heads turned. Some eyes rolled. My mom gave me a look like I'd forgotten my role in the script. I smiled. I didn't bring a gift, I said. but I do have something to share. I pulled the villa's remote from my jacket pocket, the one synced to the smart TV in the main room. Pressed a button. The music stopped. The screen behind the cake table flickered to life. First slide. Italy trip group expenses. Total, $17,502. Paid by Jake. Second slide. Unauthorized transactions. La Luz Aro Jewelry, $1,200. Forenza Rooftop Cocktails, $460. Luxury Spa Package, Lila, $1,190. Designer Store, $780. Third slide. A screenshot from the group chat. Brooks' message, timestamped 2 days ago. Let him pay. It makes him feel relevant. Guilt money always does. The room froze. I looked at Brooke. She turned ghost pale, then bright red. What is this? Your words, I said. Want me to keep going? I clicked again. Fourth slide. A clip from the villa security cameras. Jake, Mom, Dad, Brooke, singing happy birthday to Jake. Holding a cake. Laughing. Smiling. I wasn't in the video. I let it hang there. I thought this was Brooke's birthday, I said. Someone muttered, wrong video. Another guest chuckled nervously, trying to play it off. Okay, this is insane. You dug through security cameras. You made me sleep in the cleaning closet, I said, voice quiet. 3 nights, I waited. You know why? Dad barked, to make a damn scene? I looked right at him. No, to be heard. Because when I talk, no one listens. You only listen when I take something away. I pulled out my phone. Hello? Yeah, this is Jake, the primary booking holder for Villa Serenata. I'd like to cancel the reservation. Effective immediately. There was a pause. Yes, full revocation. I'll handle the charges. Gasps echoed through the courtyard. Music still off. The candles on Brooke's cake trembled in the breeze. Brooke's boyfriend stepped forward. Dude, there's no way you can just... It's all in my name, I said. The villa. The cards. The flights. Every detail. But it's her birthday, my mom protested. How can you? She made me sleep on a cot next to bleach bottles, I snapped. She used my money to buy herself jewelry. And you all watched it happen. Called it normal. I turned to face the entire crowd. Well, now I'm being normal, too. The party's over. Security showed up at 1:03 a.m. not softly. Gave them 10 minutes. A few guests argued. The staff just shrugged. We follow the system. Brooke screamed. Dad stormed off, knocking over a chair and nearly smashing a wine bottle. Mom pleaded, hands out like a prayer. I'm your mother. And that, I said, was your son until I became your bank. By 1:20 a.m., they were all outside the gates. Luggage in hand. Silk robes clinging to soaked skin. Roman rain coming down cold and fast, drenching their designer bags. Jake tried to pull up a ride. The app crashed. His girlfriend started crying. And me? I was watching from across the street, room 304 of a boutique hotel I prepaid in full. Quiet. Clean sheets. King-sized bed. My phone buzzed. Voice message from Mom. Please fix this. We have nowhere to go. I replied with a screenshot. My bank balance, 1 cent. No message. No emojis. Just the facts. They stood at the gate, soaked, shaking, and for once, silent. Brooke wasn't glued to her phone. Dad wasn't yelling. Mom wasn't performing. Just rain. Just silence. Just the weight of it all. They never thought I'd actually do it. I watched through the hotel window. Lights off. Curtain pulled just wide enough. And I didn't feel rage. I didn't feel triumph. I felt stillness. This wasn't revenge. It was a correction. They treated my money like plumbing, constant, invisible, assumed. They thought the cards would keep swiping. The transfers would always go through. That I'd patch it all up with one more, just this once. But they forgot something. I paid for everything. And now, I was going to unplug them, piece by piece. First, the cards. 3 group credit cards, all under my name. I didn't just freeze them like I had in Rome. I terminated them. No temporary pause. No reactivation link. No replacements in the mail. Just a hard stop. Done. Over. The next morning, they tried to buy coffee at the airport. Declined twice. I know because Brooke posted it on her story. Can't even get caffeine. Who does this? Who punishes people by cutting off payments? The cup in her hand was labeled decaf. I took a screenshot. Then deleted the app. Next, I called the airline. I removed all shared access on the group booking. Took my email off the return itineraries. Flagged both of my parents' tickets as potentially fraudulent, because technically, they were. They'd been booked with my business account. The airline rep didn't even blink. Understood, sir, she said. 1 click, and the entire link was severed. They could still fly home, but they'd have to pay for it. And they did. In full. Later that day, my phone buzzed. Voicemail from Mom. Whatever point you're trying to make, it's enough. You've made your scene. Let's fix this. I didn't even finish listening. Deleted it halfway through her guilt monologue. Then I opened my banking app. Scrolled through a list of connected auto payments. My parents' electricity. Their lawyer for disability paperwork. Car insurance. Weekly grocery deliveries. Canceled. 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 Unsubscribed from everything. Shared Netflix. Gone. Spotify family plan. Gone. Amazon Prime. iCloud family plan. All removed. I even deleted every single birthday and holiday reminder from our shared calendar. They weren't my responsibility anymore. By noon, I got an email. Subject: You're ruining everything. Body: I have job interviews next week, and the car's under your name. I replied. Then start walking. An hour later, Dad called. I let it go to voicemail. His tone was calm, rehearsed, full of that fake dignity he puts on when he's cornered. This is immature. You're hurting your own blood. You've made your little point. Now let's stop before things get really broken. I texted him back one word. Already broken. Then I opened our shared Google Drive, the one I'd used to plan the trip. Photos. Budget files. Passport scans. Restaurant bookings. Hotel receipts. Chat logs. Deleted. All of it. Gone in seconds. But before I shut it down for good, I uploaded one last file. A JPEG. A photo of the storage room, the cot, the mop, the bleach bottle. Caption: Here's where I slept while you toasted champagne. No reply. That night, Mom posted on Facebook a long, vague paragraph about how families forgive and how one person's pain shouldn't destroy a lifetime of love. No names. But anyone paying attention knew exactly who she meant. I read the comments. So sorry you're going through this. Prayers for healing. Some kids just don't understand gratitude. And from my aunt. Don't worry. He'll come back once the money's gone.